Boy, this sure does look like initiative buying here on a limit, or passive buying on a limit here in the 86s. J period is about to open up in a minute. It looks like we're rotating back toward the highs of the day. That sure would have been a nice trade location. You might have been able to get the 86s. Well, yeah, definitely get the 86s. We're going to go ahead and take 2 at 87, long 2 at 87, anticipating the J period breaking up toward the E period high. I don't typically like to buy in the mean or sell in the mean, but this case, since there was significant volume there, during a line that's been formed from the 84s to the 87s 3-point range for a significant amount of time now, a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, we could absolutely break up and test the asymmetrical E period high, maybe even the A period high in the 90s. We had some data issues there that took us offline. Now we're back. We're underwater on the 87s, unbeknownst, since we weren't able to see the data. If that was real, we would have actually got out of the trade via hard line and rectified the issue. But anyway, this 84 area looks like a good support area. So we'll look for a bettering of the position here. First opportunity we see any activity on the ask, we'll try to get the 84s. We might not be able to get the 84s. 85s might be our actual fill. We'll see. Just sort of meandering here. After that nice cross trade up here in the 86s, I'm surprised that on just 100, 500, 600, 700, 700, we came down to test the 84s. We'll just watch to see if we're building bigger volume than the last time down. We see here just no activity, 3-point move down on just nothing, just meandering here with 100, 140, 169. The pullback column is positive. I don't see any conclusive reason to better or try to better the position here. With this light volume, the market could move down below this before a rally to the high. So we're just going to stand tight here. This lethargic action is challenging to trade. Just meanders. Could have got a better position down in the 84s, 3 points below our entry. We might still do that. Just sort of waiting to try to get some volume to build to see if there's any cross trade. 941, 390 is not very convincing of anything really. A few hundred points here, a few hundred points there, and this market's up 2 or 3 points. So for now, we'll just stand tight with our 87s. Well, you saw him hit the bid there a little bit in the 84s. It took it from the 83.75s, 700 to 300 on the upside. Nothing, and it dies. 18 contracts in the 85s. But I would imagine this is the low, the J period low. We'll rally back toward the E period high. The market feels like it's trying to generate some buying interest. The consolidation from yesterday has been the entire range of today's activity for the most part, except for the open. We're going to take the 85s that are our position here. Well, if we can get over the 85s here, we're looking to offset 3 at 87, get back our 87s, our initial trade for break even. Offset one of the 85s at 87 for a couple points and target 90, which is basically the area that we were targeting earlier. Rotation back toward the E period high, a little above the mean. 87 was the mean earlier. I think 88 changes the mean now. Correction, 86 is the point of control, 86.50 actually. We're trading right within the area of yesterday's point of control also. We'll see 87 is yesterday's point of control here, the highlighted left column. 86.50 here on the right, today's point of control. Value area, of course, is this highlighted green. Boy, after doing some waterboarding here, we are approaching the 87s. Just meandering around the 83, high 83s, 84s, 85s, and finally enough people hit the ask to get this thing up toward the 87s. 87 is our after even on 3 contracts. We actually probably need to click 87 and a quarter to get filled. On our way to 90, hopefully. It looks like we're getting ready to get our fill here at 87 and a quarter. If we tick 87 and a quarter, we will have been filled at 87. We didn't get the 87 and a quarter tick yet. We're still looking for that quarter. Starting to get a little activity now. You can see some people hit the ask here in this column, and traders hitting the ask here. We're getting 1300 trade at the 75. I don't particularly care for that, considering we didn't tick our 87 and a quarter. But since it's 3/4 of the way through the J period, and the K period is next, we'll stick with this accumulation of volume up here at the 86.75. That could actually be a passive way to sell the market. We need to break over the I period high if we're going to rally into the afternoon session for sure. So that's an area to keep your eye on. If I didn't have such bad trade location with the 87s, I'd probably be out of this trade. Well, so far this cross trade up here we spoke about is acting as slight resistance. Not much. We're only down a point. Still trading the 86s actually. So we'll keep an eye. We have to break over the 87s, 87 and a half, 87.75 is the area of mild resistance. So the market first time here went right to our sell target at 87, but didn't get filled on the bid. So there's 550 trades off at the ask, 0 at the bid. So we're still waiting. Okay, the K period just opened up, and I had a gut that the I had not closing higher up than the 87s could mean we're going to sell here a little bit. Testing the I period low, the J period low, and the 84s are out for even on 4 is 86. Just an observation. Yesterday's auction looks like it was half completed. The 96 area, 3 TPOs, looks like that auction should complete to the upside. We were looking at 1407s as a potential sell target yesterday at the close for today's auction. We, of course, never got up there. We're trading inside yesterday's range, within about a 10-point range. So that leaves us the afternoon session. If in fact we're going to, auction back up and try to complete that upper half, we only have the LM and periods to go. So the H period low is a few points below us. We have terrible trade location if in fact the market tests the H period low in 81s. If that's the case, we could be headed down toward yesterday's low in the 70s, and I don't want to carry these positions, that far. We're carrying $100 a point from the 86s, so that's something that we'll take in consideration if we sell off too much more here. Correction, that's $200 a point with 4 contracts, not $100. $100 represents 2 contracts, so we're carrying a $200 point load from the 86s with us. You also see some cross trade down here at the 84s. Of course, now we're about bounced down to the 83s. 83 is about my tolerance here. The C period low is 83. If the K period goes below the 83s and we get back to the 83s, I'll liquidate the 86s after even on all 4 and take a loss. This 82 area, 82 to 82.75, there was a significant amount of cross trade that stopped the market, and from the 82s rallied up relatively quickly within about 45 minutes up to the 87s where we just sold off from. So there should be an area down here that we find some support, and we still are underwater on our 4 on an average 86. That, of course, would be an argument to mitigate the previous comments about liquidating on a bounce back toward the 83s to take a loss. So we're going to stand tight. Well, it looks like they're taking the stops out below the H period low in the 82 area, 81.75. You see 1400, 1500, 1300. The market's not going any lower here. This looks like stop running below the intraday low. We'll confirm that soon. It appears that there is buying coming in down here at the low in the 81s, 82s. You see significant cross trade. This is very similar to what happened in the 1300 hour period, which is the G to H period. We'll see. We should get people to hit the ask, hit the offer, drive this market back up toward the 86s, 87s, if in fact that's the intraday low of the K period after they took the stops out. This is interesting. This has been a torturous trade here, but we're still with it. This area I looked at previously, I almost got out of the trade for a 2-point loss on 4 contracts because of this cross trade. Sure enough, the market did drop 4 points. Now we're back, and we're testing this area. So this is really important to see if we can get over the 83.75 area back toward the point of control. If we continue moving up here past this area, then you would think that these people would convert, and there could be a little bit of short covering, which should get us back up toward our 87 exit. We'll watch the comparison here and see if in fact history repeats itself. It looks like volume is up here instead of on a passive basis. It looked like it was passive over here for a minute, but it looks like they're attempting to hit the bid, hit the ass. So that should create some short covering here. We're in the L period. Okay, now we might be seeing a conversion of these the shorts for the majority of the consolidation here. We're at 85.50 looking for our target. Okay, we are out of all contracts at 86 for break even. That's an excruciating trade. We'll enjoy writing about it in the snippets.